What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. You're up on the West Coast. Get up. The early bird gets to worm. And on this particular episode, this is going to be a little bit different type of topic, but it's going to make sense once it gets all broken down. This episode, I'm going to talk about the firing of Skip Bayless. And if you don't know who that is, he is a sports commentator, formerly of FS1, who was also the co-host along with Shannon Sharp on Undisputed. Actually, one of the inspirations that I have for making my show, from the actual font, if you see up here, and even the way that I have my overlays, they were a big inspiration for my show. And there's been some things that has happened with Skip Bayless, but I want to show you how a person with that much power and what he does to people that's actually technically better than him, and how that power could get abused, and how that is key to what happens in Hollywood, especially with black actors. So we're going to talk about that's I just noticed I forgot I have my other headphones around my neck, but so that's what we're going to get into today. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gan over at the Heavy Gan channel. But you already know how I do it. You already know how I get down. The real question is, all right. I'm trying to work on the energy today. I wasn't feeling the greatest. My stomach was hurting, but I did take I take a vegan pill, you know what I mean? And hopefully I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but man, it was messed up. Junior Network, good morning. Roberta, good morning. And check out Junior Network's videos. He got a couple videos to talk about the announcement of a Different World spinoff and a couple other stuff. So make sure you check him out. Good morning, Roberta. Good morning. Good morning, Tracy Woods. Good morning. Thank you guys for showing back up. D Stizzles in the house. Good morning. Princetta, good morning. Aisha, good morning. She said howdy. D Sizzle Skip is a failed former athlete who made a living off of breeding successful athletes. So in this, I want to explain my position when I'm coming to this, because I was a huge fan of Undisputed, but I seen that because Skip Bayless, was the name that he thought he could just do or talk to whoever, that he was sitting across. We're talking about Hall of Fame, football players, or, basketball players who actually had careers in his life. And if you watch the thumbnail, especially if you watch this on a replay, Jaylen Rose, Chris Carter, Shannon Sharp, two of those guys are a Hall of Famer. One is part of one of the famous college basketball teams of all time, that Michigan Fab Five team. You know what I mean? Where 4 of the 5 players went to the NBA and had successful careers. You know what I mean? So, but what I've noticed in Hollywood, and I want you guys to follow along with me. What I noticed in Hollywood, what's up, Andre Ware? What I've noticed in Hollywood is that you have people that are in positions, and I gotta call it duck, that are white. And when you go against the mode or you buck back, then automatically you get shunned out of Hollywood. But you don't see them doing that same thing to other white colleagues, or in Skip's case, and I'm using this as an example because I'm talking about Hollywood media. Anybody that's on television, they're part of the machine. They're part of the media, Hollywood propaganda, entertainment machine. It is what it is. This is why I go so hard on the mainstream media, because the mainstream media is about telling narratives. And I've watched so many sports shows because I'm a big fan of NFL, NBA, big fan of these debate sports shows. But then you start noticing a pattern on how they are debating and what they're debating, or the topics they're debating. You know what I mean? And you come to find out, if you buck against what they're trying to push, then you get shunned. Now, just think about it in the Hollywood sense. If you go against, or you start talking about, Terry Crews is one of them. You start talking about the things that's going on in Hollywood, you get blackballed. Cat Williams is another example of this, because he's always talked about what happens in Hollywood when you're black. We have seen it with Nate Parker. We're seeing it right now with Jonathan Majors. Or if you catch what I'm saying, they know that they are in power. You know that you have other actors they're in power. And again, we've seen this with Jonathan Majors, that we have, and I like Tom Hiddleston that plays Loki. But how do you go and win an award but don't mention Jonathan Majors? Despite what he got going on, he's still an amazing talent. But no, we shun them. You know what I mean? We are immediately shunned. Wow, and like I was trying to say, a person like Robert Downey Jr., Ezra Miller, Armie Hammer, Alec Baldwin, Shia LaBeouf, we can say, despite everything he got going on, I do appreciate his contribution here. He's an amazing talent. I hope he gets this. I hope the situation gets better for him. That could have been it. But what I noticed is that we don't get that same grace. The same thing that Jonathan said. And this is the reason why I'm coming to Skip Bayless. Because Skip Bayless puts you on to berate you, and then it feels like it's your fault that you want to leave and you don't want to deal with anything. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna get to it, and then I'm gonna explain the parallels to what you see with black men in Hollywood, because this is black, not just black men, black people, black women, black men. The disparity of black women when they get paid to their white female counterparts. You know what I mean? How you can do everything under the sun and still get chances, but you mess up one time and that's the end of your career. They want you to go back, to the independent circuit. They want you to do this. They want you to do, they don't do that same thing to a Jim Rome. You know what I'm saying? Or these other celebrity talents. So let me share my screen real quick. And this is from the brother self-talk, and I'm going to put his link in the bio too, of this, the link to this video, and tag him into this, because this again will make sense when you look at how, and the reason why. Number one, because somebody tried to be funny in my comment section and was saying, well, if blacks just got their own, then we wouldn't have these problems. Let me just say this. Since I don't know history, this guy, whoever this is, when we did have our own, we had our own movie theaters, we had our own movie production, we had our own grocery stores, we had our own everything, we had our own communities. And historically, what happened to those communities? Historically, either they were burned down to the ground and destroyed, or they were corporately bought out with loopholes. Just like we had our own land, we had all of that, but there was always something. And that's what real racism is. Racism is when you suppress or oppress another group of people financially, right? Financially or physically. But 9 times out of 10, if you take a man's livelihood, that's akin to killing him. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. So if I could suppress you and just take away your assets, then now you're scrambling for jobs, and then I create with this medium called a project, which is normally in an inner city next to, and all projects are in the proximity of a jail, but you're away from the proximity of actual real jobs. So they continue to put fast food restaurants, you know what I'm saying, liquor stores, you're getting my drift for this person who says, I don't know, history. So this is what we try to fight, but we had our own. And for some reason, or we create these new shows and we get used to boost up said network. WB is one of them. UPN was another one. And then once they combined, what happened to the black shows? This is systematic. Tubi's on the verge of being the next one to go. To get all this black talent on there, on the screen, independently. We're making our own stuff. And then now that they're owned by Fox, let them build that mug up and see how many black shows that you have on there, or how it's going to be suppressed. Or they only highlight you through February. All right, let me get to what I'm talking about. I guess because I want to give you my history before I start going into this. Let's keep going.
A number of years ago, I was on a show with Stephen A. and Skip Bayless, and
both of them.
Yeah, both of them on their show.
Yeah.
I was working at ESPN doing NFL. I didn't know Skip personally, and I'm going to be honest with you. Skip Bayless is not one of my favorite people.
I can imagine.
Okay.
Man. So in today's video, we got to highlight Chris Carter coming out, revealing that he had checked Skip Bayless to his face to the point where he had stood up and he told Skip Bayless that he will punch him in the face, man. We're going to get into that later in today's video. But before we get to that point, let's break everything down into context about Chris Carter and Skip Bayless' relationship. So remember, Chris Carter, he used to be on ESPN a lot. So Chris Carter and Skip Bayless, they got into it on ESPN a long time ago. Let's check that out right here.
Don't put too much yeast on that. Inspire the whole football team.
No, you can't. No, you're wrong on that. He's not inspiring the whole football team.
No, you're wrong on that. You're wrong. You're dead wrong on that one.
Well, I've been on the NFL field before. You never have.
I don't care. I know what I'm talking about.
What do you mean you don't care?
Okay. Okay. Did you lift the football team to a lot of wins? I don't know.
So me being on the NFL field and playing and being a starter and a premier player
and worthy of the Hall of Fame, by the way. But
a Christian and a leader, my experience don't matter.
Okay. But you've dismissed him. You say he can't play in the league.
I didn't say that.
You said he's not a starter in the league.
That's not a starter. There's plenty of other players besides the starter. Okay, that's 6 weeks ago. You need to move on till today.
You need to move on. What does he do every fourth quarter?
You're right.
Game after game after game.
Now, the reason why I'm just bringing this up, again, this has nothing to do with their conversation, has nothing to do with Hollywood. But let me ask you a question. How many times can you go? Remember when all of this, kind of happened with I'm using Jonathan Majors, I'm going to use Nate Parker. I can't think of the brother's name. He said some homophobic things. That the brother that was on Love Jones. Hold on, I gotta bring up his name. If you guys have it, put it in the comment section. But I can't think of the brother's name from Love Jones. Isaiah Washington. Thank you, Gray. Isaiah Washington says some wild-ish, right? And he started bucking against Hollywood. He said some wild-ish. They kind of took, I think he was on Grey's Anatomy at one time, right? He started saying some wild-ish about Hollywood, right? And once he started saying what was going on in Hollywood, they slowly trickled him right on down up out of there, right? But yet, you have you know, I've seen Jim Carrey talk about Hollywood. You know, when he comes out and say, "Oh, remember, you know, yeah, the horns and in this, oh, you know what this means," and all of these other symbols, and then everybody just Jim Carrey just being crazy. You know what I mean? Or Corey Feldman. Well, Corey Feldman was a little bit different because he exposed Hollywood and the evils that they were doing. You know what I mean? But he was so, and people could say that he was so far out of his career that it didn't matter. But when Isaiah Washington did it, it was immediately like, get up out of here. You never come back to Hollywood again. When you bucked it, all I'm talking about is buck the system now. There's no clips of I'm using Skip Bayless as an example. There's no videos of Skip Bayless doing this to a white athlete, right? And telling somebody, I don't care what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You know, I don't care if you're a Hall of Famer. I don't care if you're a Pro Bowl. I don't care. I'm going to disrespect you. I'm going to, as a white, when he does it, what you don't understand is that in context, as a white man disrespecting somebody who actually has credentials is literally no different than a white man calling you a boy. Why? Because now you're disrespecting me as a man. You're disrespecting my craft. You're disrespecting everything that's about me. You're belittling me. It's the same thing we go to. When you're in Hollywood, if you don't play the game, literally, if you don't play the game, this is the way that they treat you. You go into these Hollywood auditions, because I've done it before, because I used to live in LA. I lived in LA in 2003. You go in there and you don't fit the mold because they're actually looking for somebody that's, you know, for this role, we might be looking for a gangster, or we might be looking for this. And when you say, no, I'm above that. I went to Yale. I went to Harvard. I got my master's degree. I'm not going to belittle myself to these type of things. You know what they'll tell you? Well, you're not working in Hollywood. But somebody else who could be on drugs or whatever, they could come in and just, hey, oh, well, let's get you this part. Matter of fact, let's get you a part that you're sympathetic. That's why they have the only rule of one. Chadwick Boseman was a prime example of suppression. Why is he a prime example of suppression? Because Robert Downey, and I'm gonna full screen myself just for a second. Because I did this video before. You could go back and watch this video where there was a rumor where Bob Chapek was the head of Disney and Black Panther just hit $1.3 billion. Chadwick Boseman wanted to go back and renegotiate his contract, right? He wanted to go back and renegotiate his contract. Why? Because now I'm the only, Marvel actor that's not in a team-up movie that grossed over $1 billion, right? So I know that I'm a draw as the Black Panther. I feel like I should renegotiate my contract. I feel like I should get paid this because look what I've done since I got here. Remember, at that time, he was only just a Civil War, which he overshadowed. Remember, Chadwick Boseman overshadowed Spider-Man coming into the MCU. I need you guys to follow me on this, right? So when he had the nerve to ask for more money under Bob Chapek, right? In 2018 going into 2019, right? And we've all heard reports about the investors, how they feel about these black movies. And Bob Chapek told him, no, nah, I'm not getting you nothing. And then you start to hear rumblings. This is way before Chad passed away. So all of this, we had a 5-minute thing. They got a call. We're never going to bring another Negro down here again. Let him ask for more money. No, we're not going to do it. Right? Way before he died, they already had rumblings that they wanted Shuri to take over as the Black Panther. Way before he died. Now, mind you, he died 2 years later after the Black Panther movie came out. But why Can't they pay him what he was worth? Let's say, for instance, for the sake of argument, Chadwick Boseman survives this cancer, right? He never dies of cancer. You know what I mean? You're going to pay Robert Downey Jr. $80 million for 2 movies, but you couldn't pay Chadwick Boseman, who brung you over $1 billion in a solo film. And probably, just for the sake of argument, if Chadwick Boseman is in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, that movie grosses over $1 billion. Are you catching what I'm saying? Then you have Mahershala Ali that comes in. Now Chadwick Boseman is gone. God rest his soul. And they won't recast the character. Why? Because they don't want somebody that bold to say, I'm bucking the system. I want to get paid my worth. I can bring in the dollars. No different than Robert Downey Jr. Matter of fact, Robert Downey Jr. never had $1 billion film solo, right? Never. No, I'm not dissing them. I'm putting the timeline together. Never had $1 billion film. Got 3 films. Thor's character, Chris Hemsworth, never had $1 billion film. Got 3 films. Ant-Man never had $1 billion. Matter of fact, he barely even went over 800 million. Got 3 films. Follow along with me. But your black male lead, right, couldn't be recast. So we can continue that character, right? He couldn't get paid when he was alive. So you're suppressing him. That's a form of oppression. Because I can pay everybody else, but you, nah. Even though I showed you my work and I exceeded what you guys thought. Because remember, what's the one guy's name who was an executive who just sold his shares? I can't think of that cat's name. But remember, he didn't even believe that a black male lead film could make money. They didn't even want to do Black Panther. Y'all put it in the comment section. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They didn't even want a black male lead in that because they didn't think black people will come out and spend their money. Even though Ike Perlmutter, thank you, Greg, because you own it. Perlmutter. Now they didn't even believe that he could be able to make money, and not only did he prove it, he surpassed the budget of that film to make that film. Right? No second film with a black lead. You suppress the character. You came out 5 minutes later and said, we don't need this. All because Chadwick asked for respect. That's what brings me to Skip Bayless. When you ask for my respect, you continue to down me in front of my colleagues, in front of my peers, and I'm supposed to just take that. I'm supposed to be okay with that, right? That's supposed to be okay, right? And then what has happened when these guys leave away from Skip Bayless? Let me continue. Let me keep going because I'm gonna show you the disrespect and then take it back to way Hollywood treats black people in Hollywood. I'm using this as a parallel. You know what I mean? Because this is perfect showing, right? All right, let's go.
Game. They all say it. He's inspired the whole time, giving him any credit.
I did give him credit.
Okay, but you're saying don't give him so much credit.
So in other words, hold on. So if we don't believe, all right, he played the game. I certainly have never played football.
Into you laughing. You laughed the last time. What happened?
Wait a minute.
You ate it again and again and again.
Let me ask you a question.
How many times were you wrong, Chris Carter? How many times? 7 times.
I know I went to 8 Pro Bowls and played 16 years.
Yeah, and how many rings do you have?
I ain't got none. You got same amount.
You see the disrespect, right? You see the disrespect clearly on, say, in front of 2 prominently successful black men, right? But it don't matter when you're in Hollywood. When you're in Hollywood or you in this media, just like when me, Chill, Pam, Kat, all of us, Danny, Tina, you know, she dressed me. Shout out to she dressed me. My prayers and everything is going out to Tina's family. When we were doing our thing, right? And we were getting buzz because we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're doing the job that, you know, Cheyenne Whitetree is not doing. We're doing the job that these other nationally known journalists are doing. Why? Because just like this, just like what we're seeing here, there's no journalism integrity. There's no respect for the people that you're talking about. There's no respect for the truth. It's narrative driven, and they'd rather have you disrespected, right? They'd rather see you disrespected than to tell the truth about your entire situation. And this is what we saw in the Variety. This is what we see in the New York Post. This is what we see when we were covering Giant the Major story. And even if we don't cover Giant the Major story, we go to Nate Parker or any black man that's in that big limelight that is taking his career where they don't really want him at because they really just want one. They really just want one. Wesley was one. Denzel was one. Will Smith was one. Kevin Hart was one. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. They don't want too many Negroes in that upper echelon spot of mainstream Hollywood actors. So they only pick one. Well, we got all this talent out here. They only picked one. So when we were talking about recast T'Challa, there's nobody who could be able to take him. There's nobody who could. When you got all this talent out here, then they make a caveat. There's nobody out here who could be able to do what Chadwick does. Suppression. I'm teaching y'all right now. That's literally suppression, because you are going to suppress all the people who can be able to elevate that character, elevate that role, and put it even further than what it is. But no, there can only be one. Right? Follow along with me. Right? There can only be one. But when it was time to recast Giant the Majors because a girl hurt her finger, they was pulling actors out the woodwork. So you're telling me that you don't want this male lead role that not only transcends, media, but it transcends the lives of the people who watching it. You see what I mean? The little black boys and little black girls who are seeing a black male that's not out here cooning, that's not out here bojangling. I'm giving y'all the truth right now. That pulls up with his head held high. That is not a damn baby daddy. That is not the stereotype originally what he was created for. Right? They suppress that person. Just like Skip Bayless is suppressing these two black men who are successful in their craft, and one of them actually was a part of what the conversation is about, did it for 16 years, went to 8 Pro Bowls, but he ain't good enough. He ain't good enough because this white man has to feel superior to these black men that's at the same or above where he's at. That's it. And shout out to Junior Network. Appreciate the $20 super chat. You're on fire, my brother. Keep speaking facts. Appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I know y'all don't like this, some of y'all, but I gotta give you a body roll. Super chat, body roll. Gotta give you the body roll. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And I'm gonna get to the media side of this also, because they play the game too.
As you.
No, I don't.
Same amount as you.
But Tim
Have you
Tebow's
moved at
got a
all on
ring.
your opinion of Tim Tebow? I know you said
I
he's
need
not
to
a
see
starter.
more of him.
So the reason why I want to highlight that is because Chris Carter revealed that after that's when he had checked Skip Bayless to a space and told him he'd punch him right in the face. Let's check out this clip right here.
A number of years ago, I was on a show with Stephen A. and Skip Bayless. And
both of them.
Yeah, both of them on their show.
Yeah.
I was working at ESPN doing NFL. I would do Mike Greenberg after doing my NFL stuff, and then I would come on there because
listen to what he said. This is a 6-time Pro Bowler, a person who fought a drug addiction. You know what I mean? He's not, literally Chris Carter and Robert Downey Jr. is synonymous. Where Chris Carter was with the Philadelphia Eagles, shout out to Mika G, when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he talked about how he was on booger sugar, just like Marcus Jordan the other day. You know what I mean? Was on the booger sugar, was out here wilding, drinking, all of that, changed his life. Why can't you respect that? Why can't we talk about, black people who changed their life, who was at a low point and changed their life? Why can't we talk about them glowingly? But no, what Chris Carter did was buck the system, and Skip Bayless let him know, just try to pull him in his place. Let me keep going because I'm telling you, this is going to, if you haven't got it, this is going to make sense because I'm going to talk about the media after this.
Stephen A. and I were friends. I didn't know Skip personally, and I'm going to be honest with you. Skip Bayless is not one of my favorite people.
I can imagine.
Okay. So I'm on there doing the show. I do the show and everything. And then all of a sudden, this is when the Tebow phenomenon was going on. Mm-hmm. And he was a huge Tim Tebow guy. This guy is this.
I remember it.
Okay.
Oh.
So I come on there on a Monday, and, we're trading barbs and everything. We go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I just level set it and was like, listen, if throwing the football is important in the NFL, Tim Tebow will never be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yep. So
he got defensive, and then he came back and said, well, that's why you didn't win a Super Bowl. Okay.
So what'd you say?
Which got nothing to do with nothing.
Agreed.
We went to commercial break.
So you didn't say nothing before commercial. He just said his...
No.
Okay. Good man.
I took my earpiece out, and I told him, I'll never be on your show again. Yeah. And if you ever say anything like that to me again, I'll punch you right in the fucking face.
Good for you. That's why I like you. What did he say?
He couldn't say anything because I got up. I'm off the set. Then the producers came. Hey, Chris, no, it's not necessary. Then the people came.
Now, what's funny about this conversation is that because I follow sports media, is that it was hard for Chris Carter to get work. Why? Because now he's a problem on the set. Not the guy who's disrespecting him in front of a national audience for ratings. You know what I mean? But for him defending himself, he was considered a problem. And if the people who watch sports media know I'm not lying, you can put it in the chat, put it in the comment section, watching this on the replay. Let's keep going. Let's hear a little more. Because I would have probably said the same thing. I honestly would, because you're not going to disrespect me. I'm a grown-ass man.
From the back, Stephen A. was like, Chris, man, this is not. I was like, bro, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing. I'll never be on another show. I won't be on this show ever again as long as he's on here.
Correct.
So then come 3 or 4 years later, he goes to Fox.
Mm-hmm.
I leave ESPN. The guy that was directing the show was hiring the people at Fox.
Okay.
So he's like, man, I know, man, y'all had a dust up. Do you have any problem with him? I said, I don't have no problem with him.
No.
I don't have no problem with him at all.
Me, I'm good.
No. Well, we talked to him. He doesn't have a problem with you. Why would he?
Yeah.
Why would he have a problem with me?
Mm-hmm.
So I had very little interaction with him when I went to Fox, but I knew that it's like playing in a card game.
There it is.
The deck is tricked up.
There it is. There it is.
Okay,
so again, if you have somebody with power, again, think about it like this. You have someone with power. They can determine if you get on a show or not. This is media executives. These are these people that's in in Hollywood, all of it. This is exactly what they do. Especially now we're going to talk about the media side. Because again, this is where I start experiencing how suppression really works. Again, me, Kat, Danny, Blue, Chill, Pam Entertainment, Television, Tina, all these YouTubers are banded together because we're seeing what they're doing with our brother, right? And I'm going to defend my brother, especially when there's evidence that proves the contrary to what the mainstream media is saying, right? And when we're checking these people who are writing these articles, right? The first thing they want to say is, you don't know what you're talking about. First of all, who are you? You don't even have your degree. You don't have your journalism degree. Who are you? And I'm like, hey, but what you're saying in your article is wrong because it's not journalism. This is an opinion piece. And back in the day, if you ever read an actual newspaper, this is what we call the editorial side, where the thoughts and the opinions that's in this column is not reflected by whatever newspaper that you're reading that day. And now media has been so narrative driven because it's easy clickbait. I can literally pull up any article right now, and if they don't like you, it's going to have more disrespectful narrative that's being pushed in that article than actual truth. This is what brings me to black media. Because again, I had some idiot tell me that I don't know history and yada, yada, yada. Right? I don't know anything. I don't know nothing about nothing. Okay, fine. That's what you think? I'll play the game. You got it. I don't know nothing about nothing. But what I do know is this, is that even black media has been bought by white people with an agenda. White people with an agenda has bought black media to start pushing the same narrative. Why do you think during this political, and this goes for both sides, and I'm going to bring this up, but this goes for both sides, right? When you're looking at your political spectrum, I don't care who you vote for, but have you noticed that a lot of the conversation is not about policies or anything that has to do with how we can fix the economy from inflation? How can we stop, illegal immigrants to come in, or whatever? How can we get better health care? How can we get, more STEM programs, you know what I'm saying, for everyone, you know what I'm saying, especially in, poor urban areas so they can learn science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about somebody black or whatever. You know what I mean? We're talking about what, if somebody being a criminal. Damn that, what is any one of y'all going to do, that's going to benefit me? That's a policy. Don't give a damn if somebody black, white, orange, green. I don't care. I don't care. I don't really give a damn, right? I don't give a damn about even somebody's criminal history. What I do honestly care about is what policies are you trying to push? And is those policies going to affect me in my pockets? Is it going to continue to rise the price of milk? Women who are unable to breastfeed are paying, if they don't have WIC, paying $20, $30 for Enfamil or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't care about, hope. I don't. What are the policies? And if you don't really see the narrative to divide us is showing, but this is what mainstream media does. They don't care about you. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about any of that. What they care is entertainment and how do you feel after listening to it. Because facts make you think. But if I push propaganda, you get you in your feelings. You don't think about that. Just like when people come and say, well, You don't need to recast T'Challa. What do you want to do that for? His son is going to take care of it. Because what it is somebody push propaganda, they push a narrative, and now when you say the son cannot be the father, this is not Christ. Then they look at you like you're crazy. Then they want to argue with you. Then they tell you stupid and this, that, and the other. But then when you say, well, if that's the case, when Kevin Conroy died, why didn't they kill Batman with Kevin Conroy? Why didn't they make Damon Wayne the new Wayne the new Batman? Oh, you can't do that. That's Batman. Batman gonna live forever. Cause Batman. You see how everything is going? Let me keep going.
Number one thing you should know about Skip Bayless and some of the programming, the way that it was done at ESPN and at Fox, I'm going to say this, that it's a form of wrestling.
Listen.
Yeah, well, you know who's going to win. You know who's going to win.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So all this stuff is already predetermined. The topics is already predetermined. All of this stuff is predetermined. This is, you know what I mean? All you got to do is go out there and put on a good show. So it ain't even, so technically, this is not even real. If you get what I'm saying, this is not even real. Right? It's not even real. So all the emotions and all this other stuff, unless they buck the system, that's when it gets real. Let's keep going. And just like media, all of this stuff is not real. All of these, I think the Oscars for all of this stuff or whatever, you ought to be, but you can't, you'll do this for one colleague, but you won't do it for the colleagues that you need to talk about. This is why what Monique said, what Taraji P. Henson said about black women not getting paid in Hollywood like they should. And while I do got it, even though I might not like, the movie of Divorce in the Black, because I don't like the way that it flowed or anything in the character focus, I can't be mad at Tyler Perry paying Megan Good $1 million. Paying, because she's been suppressed. You know what I'm saying? Not getting paid like, her counterpart.
It's predetermined. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And a lot of the arguments and everything are either predetermined or assigned.
You're going to win this one.
And everything is slanted in Skip and Stephen A's favor.
So that's Chris Carter revealing that he had checked Skip Bayless to his face. And I believe Chris Carter because remember, guys, we did a video a while ago about the producer on that show when Skip Bayless and Jaylen Rose got into it.
Something went down on yesterday's show. If you watched it, you saw it, and you lived it. If not, you may have heard about it. We want to address it. In the course of a conversation about Russell Westbrook being a point guard, Jaylen went in pretty hard on Skip's high school basketball stats. If you missed it, listen.
No freezers. How when you?
Okay, pretty soon I am probably going to get YouTube Premium. Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the ads, I be trying to get to stuff, but it gives me a time to kind of rest my voice too, so I can't really be too mad at it.
The positions were only created so a novice could follow the game.
So, if you don't know who this is Jaylen Rose, part of the Fab Five, played for my Bulls, played for the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? Play for, a few NBA teams. But the guy was a hell of a point guard, right? The guy was a hell of a point guard. Now, this guy who played in the league is going to get disrespected from a guy who's watching the game, right? Doesn't give him any, a respect. Again, I'm going to turn it back. So what happens in Hollywood?
Because you're a power forward, that doesn't make you physical. Just because you're a shooting guard, that don't mean you can jack up threes. That's
What
just
were
a
you,
position.
Jaylen? What were you?
What were you? Did you
What were
average,
you?
Did you average 1.4 points as a senior in high school?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so all of that Pistol Pete stuff, Water Pistol Pete Jr.
Okay, well, we'll address that later. We're
Okay.
going to.
Don't ignore that. Did you play junior?
Yeah.
Did you play JV as a junior?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I
And
follow
what were you?
Okay.
What were you? What was your position?
I have no position. I have
You
no
were
game.
a point guard.
I have no game.
You were a point guard.
I have no
Am I
game.
right?
Okay, and the reason why
Now, did you notice how Jaylen just said that and how he didn't say he didn't tell you to put your glasses back on. He wasn't hollering and screaming. He wasn't doing what Skip Bayless just did to Chris Carter, right? He came to this man with respect to it. Just pulled pull that CVS receipt out. That's it. All he did was pull that CVS receipt out. Didn't you play your senior year? You averaged less than 2 points a game. So how can you go tell me about what I know when you didn't even? I averaged more than 2 points a game. You see what I mean? Didn't disrespect him or nothing. Do you know that Skip Bayless made it where Jaylen Rose never got his job back at that job again? Taking a man's livelihood is akin to killing him. I'm trying to tell you, trying to bring it to you.
I'm highlighting that in today's video is because the co-host that was there in between those two, he just came out and did an interview and he has spoke about Skip Bayless banning Jaylen Rose from ESPN because of that.
Now, the man did not listen. He banned him from ESPN for calling out his high school stats. While on the opposite end, you have this white guy telling a brother what he is, and that's okay. So if they're doing this in front of our faces, what do you think they're doing behind our backs in Hollywood when the doors is closed? You know, it did make out these. Remember, I'm bringing up Dave Chappelle for a reason. Because Dave Chappelle, remember, he left the show because he didn't like the direction it was going. And all of a sudden, he was on crack. All of a sudden, you went way to Africa to smoke crack.
That's crazy. Let's check out the clip of Skip Bayless, former co-host, exposing that information. Here's a clip right here.
But I do remember the show where, just in the context of having a conversation, Skip had mentioned to Jaylen, "What have you won? You know, you and I won the same number of NBA championships," or something along those lines. And I never like it when Skip would do that. And this particular day when he brought it up, Jaylen had enough, and Skip was thunderstruck, and I was thunderstruck. I was just like, "What's happening here?" And so he's
So it's funny. Again, I can replay that clip. It show you literally how calm Jaylen is. You know what I mean? How calm Jaylen is. He ain't yelling. He ain't hollering. He ain't screaming. He ain't turning over no tables. He ain't doing nothing like that, right? But all of a sudden, everybody is in fear. Everybody's thunderstruck. Everybody, oh. I can't believe he said that. Why do you believe, and y'all can put this in the comment section, why do you believe that is? I'm going to give you my opinion. They don't want you to use your voice. They don't want you to say, I'd be damned if you talk to me like that. Let me set you straight for a moment. Now, you can go ahead and disrespect me, but today it ain't the day. I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me. I'm bucking the system. Why do you think they called it buck breaking during slavery? Because when I buck the system and I refuse for you to disrespect me, all of a sudden there's a problem. Now I'm a problem. Again, we didn't hear anything about Jonathan Majors until March the 25th, 2023 happened. Then all of a sudden he's a problem. He's this. He hurt me in high school. He didn't like me when I was, when we was at daycare, and all this other foolishness that came along with it. Because he refused to say, I hit this woman. While at the same time, Josh Brolin could be in a high-profile case where he, allegedly hit his woman, William Hurt had a whole book written about his domestic violence, but he continued to get work. Jeremy Renner damn near pulls a Chris Benoit on his whole entire family, and he gets a television show. And because I seen it in the comment section, so I'm gonna acknowledge it. I'm kind of acknowledge it. Go back to some of the comments after I'm done. That Iron Man 3 movie, even though that it did, okay, it hit $1 billion, but you know what? It was not well received, especially with the Mandarin reveal. Actually, they were talking about this might be Robert Downey Jr.'s last film as Iron Man. People forget. People literally got revisionist history. So when you start pointing out those movies at the time that they came out, a lot of people didn't like Iron Man 3. A lot of people really didn't like Iron Man 2, but it was better than Iron Man 3. And then when we found out the Mandarin was an actor and all that, like, what the hell is it? The Adrian killing? Like, I'm the Mandarin. You know, and we're like, what is this? What is this, buddy? What is this? Is terrible, buddy. What is this? People have revisionist history. You know, just like how Blade 3 was trash. Blade 2 wasn't that good. Well, Blade 3 was okay. Blade 2 was okay. Blade was amazing. Amazing Spider-Man. Cool, good. Amazing Spider-Man 2, trash. Then time passes, you see him on screen, and now all of a sudden, yay, oh my God, Andrew Garfield. I can't believe how great he was as Spider-Man. Bring him back. No, let me stop it.
Started going into this story about how the coach's son also was the point guard. I knew that was only going to end poorly.
I like Blade.
I had some conversations with Jaylen after the show. I had some conversations with Skip after the show. I'm trying to be the peacemaker. And I thought we were in a good place. And then I found out that this thing was about to go to a whole new level. But then came word that Skip was never, Jaylen was never allowed to do another First Take ever again. Like it was, he was a banned guest. He was banished. And at that time, Skip had that kind of power.
Skip, remember, a white man has the type of power to keep black men from working. Just disagree with what you just said. You can disrespect me, but now I'm banned because you don't like that I turned it on you. You can disrespect me and say I ain't got no rings, that, you can tell me what I was. You can do all of this stuff to me. And I bring up something about you, and now I'm banned. You know that this is not Skip. I'm using Skip Bayless as an example because, again, this is literally what happens with white executives and all of this. This is what happens all the time in Black Hollywood. That's why when you see one guy, he's on the rise, he's doing this and the other, and then you hear about he doesn't want to, fall into the Hollywood limelight, and then he's gone. You know what I mean? And I think this is getting ready to wrap up too. So let me just wrap this up. But I personally like Blade 1 better than Blade 2, but Blade 3 is trash. Sorry, that sucks. If my boy Ryan Reynolds is in it, it's not good.
On First Take. Because again, the show was taken to heights we had never reached. And Skip was the guy that took us there. No question about it.
So that sounds about right because I continue to hear stories like this. I remember Gilbert Arenas' show on Gil's Arena. They were talking about the news of Skip Bayless being fired from FS1 Undisputed, and Kenya Martin revealed that he was also banned as well by Skip Bayless. He said he was told to never come back on the show again, and he didn't even know what happened. Y'all get in the comment section down below.
Hey, y'all wonder, and shout out to Self Talk. I can't, I'm gonna tag him in this video. Shout out to my man Self Talk. And you wonder why Kwame Brown was calling Skip Bayless Dracula face and all this other stuff. When you literally suppress a man from making money because you don't like the fact that he bugged back to you, that you got to sit up here and take it, that you got to sit up here and be like, put your glasses back on. Basically, and just because he's friends with Lil Wayne doesn't mean he doesn't have tendencies to be able to be prejudiced, have and have that hint of racism to suppress black men from getting paid. Sorry, I'm calling the duck a duck. You know what I mean? Now, do I like the interactions that that I seen from the shows? Yeah, I loved it. I watched every minute of it until I start seeing the disrespect. Like when he was disrespecting, when he would disrespect LeBron James. You know what I mean? I understand, you might not like some of the things that LeBron James does as a basketball player, but to totally just disrespect this man is out of line. You know what I mean? I might not put him as my GOAT, but LeBron James is one of the greatest players that ever played the game of basketball. So I'm not going to sit up here and disrespect this man. They have no problem disrespecting black men on film. And that brings me back to Hollywood. If I watch Captain America, Brave New World, and they don't treat Anthony Mackie with the respect he deserves, I'm going to have a problem with Marvel. I think I'm going to be done with Marvel in the MCU altogether. Why? Because you're already disrespecting Mahershala Ali. You're already disrespecting Tiana Paris. You already disrespect the legacy of Chadwick Boseman. You already disrespect Jonathan Majors. You know what I mean? And the only reason why I'm saying you did disrespect Jonathan Majors, because if it wasn't for Jeremy Renner damn near losing his legs, you would have never heard about what he told Marvel about what he did, what he was getting ready, what he almost did. He told Marvel, they said, go ahead, here's a show. Here's a show. Let's continue to ramp up your character. Don Cheadle is an Academy Award winning actor. You just got him just Terrence Howard, enough disrespected. Just disrespected. Like I said, how hard you can literally, if you think about it's so hard, we want it to be perfect. Cause you can literally redo Blade 1. Instead of having a rave scene, you know what it is right now, what they're doing right now. You know what kids are doing. You can literally just copy and paste that entire movie. It ain't like it ain't like we didn't already see somebody copy and paste a movie with Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So you know how to copy and paste. Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2 is literally a copy and paste. Except this time you just introduce Ghost. You already disrespect black characters in Marvel anyway. Because what you'd rather have, right, is black actors play white characters instead of elevating the black characters that's already in the zeitgeist of Marvel comic book fans. So like I said, you can bring over Daredevil. I have no problem with that. Daredevil was dope. You can bring over Punisher. Have no problem with that. The Punisher was dope. You can bring over Jessica Jones. I have no problem with that. I like Jessica Jones. But Luke Cage, who got all kinds of accolades and people were buzzing about Luke Cage. Luke Cage season 2 was good. I'm not saying it wasn't better than Luke, season 1. Season 2 was good. Bushmaster, all of that. You know what I mean? No word, no nothing. Nothing. Agatha could get a show, but Photon couldn't. You see what I'm saying? Again, taking a man's livelihood is akin to killing him. Hold up. Hold on. See if I can pull this up real quick. See if I can find that clip. Yep, the 3-card Monty. I want to pull this. I want to show this for a reason because I want you guys to kind of understand the parable that he used in this.
Yeah, the guy had the whole thing. The table was set up, and he had the 3 cards, and the crowd was hooting and hollering, and he was like, find the red card, find the red card. And people were playing. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, but it was really exciting, and I'm standing there watching it, and I noticed while I'm watching them play this game that the red card, the one you're trying to find, had just a little bend on the corner. And I'm watching and I'm like, yo, this guy doesn't seem to know that red card is bent. I'm going to beat this motherfucker. And I walked up to the table and I said, let me play a hand. And I put my leg.
So what I love about this joke is that he already knew that the game was rigged and he tried to beat it. Think about that for just a second. He said, I know the game is rigged because I seen the little slight crack in the cheek in the armor. So what I'm going to do is keep my eyes on the prize and beat it. And look what they did. Look what happened.
Ass $60 on that table, and he starts to shuffle and find the red card, find the red card. And I kept watching that bent card go around the table, make sure I kept my eyes on that bent card. And when he stopped shuffling and he said, find the red card, I pointed to it with confidence. Here it is right here. And he flipped it over, and it was black. And he took my money. I couldn't fucking believe that. How did this nigga do that? Was that magic or sorcery? I was confused. So you know what I did? I sat there and I watched him for a real long time play the game. And I realized that all those people who was doing all that hooting and hollering and betting, my God, they were his friends. They were in on the whole thing. I felt so wronged. I felt so stupid. And then the next sucker came up to the table and was about to put his money down. And I said, fuck that, man. Don't put your money there. All these niggas is in on it.
And what did I tell you about bucking the system? When you buck the system, look how they treat you.
It's a trick. And when I said that, the guy that was dealing, and this motherfucker was huge, snatched me up by my collar. Feel how strong he was when he grabbed me. I was a skinny little guy. And he was going to maul me. The only reason he didn't, I'm sure, is because he saw the fear in my face. And that fear, he looked at me. I saw his eyes go from hard to soft. He softened. Then he looked at me like the way a father would look at a child. And he said to me, young man, don't ever come between a man and his meal. I never forgot that either. Most niggas would have to run the streets for years to learn a lesson that profound. It took me 2 seconds. Never get between somebody and their paper. Taking a man's livelihood away from him is akin to killing him.
Always love that. Because what happens is when you call out the system, right? You call out the system, you're taking away from the game and the meal. That's why you don't see a lot of A-list, multiple Black Hollywood stars. But then when you do see them, you wonder why they don't bring anybody else up. You wonder why they sit around and they let things happen. What happened with Jonathan and Nate Parker and a lot of other Black Hollywood stars, it's not by coincidence. It's by design. Because they are part of it. They don't want you. They don't want your black ass to be a part of it because you're going to call out how the game is rigged. Again, this is one of the reasons why, you know, I'm not going to be a part of a lot of large circles if my channel gets bigger or not. Why? Why? Because I'm a challenge and I'm going to call out the goddamn game. And they're going to be mad because now I'm getting between them and what they're trying to accomplish. And then when you do call them out, and they do call you, they call them out, they try to berate you or they try to talk to you like you're stupid. Because I already know the game. You'd rather be on the red carpet. You'd rather be hobnobbing and be able to do interviews with the people who telling you, I don't give a damn about you. I don't give a damn about your character. I don't give a damn about what you got going on, your petition. I don't give a shit about none of that. I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because I'm part of the game now. And I'd be damn I'll let your black ass take that away from me. Can I be mad at them? No. But you can't be mad at me calling your black ass out for it either. And it ain't just a few YouTubers, a few guys in the media, a few guys in Hollywood. It's a lot. And they gatekeep all of this. And you wonder why the people with the biggest voices get shot down. Remember, they didn't want to kill Malcolm X until he started saying the problem with the Negroes in America is not just an American problem, it's a world problem. So let me start talking to these other, you know, leaders across the world and bring the attention to what we got going on in here in America. Then he was killed. When Martin Luther King, you know, yes, did he want to bring black and white people together? Yes. But when he also started realizing that I could bring these people together, but if I don't have the same amount of money or the same opportunities that these other people start having, and we start talking about money, then how are these people going to be able to survive in a world where somebody already has a 200-year advantage of them? Then he had to go. Just saying. Just saying. This is the game, and everybody is in on it. Black, white, orange, green, it don't matter. If you are part of the game, you don't care anymore because you're in the game. Everybody else is trying to get in, and you are going to determine who gets in that game. If they can play the game, you determine who's in that game. But let your ass buck this game. Let your ass talk about the you know, how the game is rigged. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. All right, let me get to some of these questions because I mean some of these y'all was going in on the chat, so I'm just going to highlight a couple of things that I see in here. And shout out to everybody's in the chat. Shout out to all 89 of you guys, 47 of you guys watching on X. You know what I'm saying? 40 of you guys watching here on YouTube. And then the one person watching on Twitch. I appreciate the support. And if you're watching on X and you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead, go over to Twitter. Go over to YouTube and subscribe, like and subscribe to the channel. Bitchy guys, what's up, teenagers? Dude, I truly think Jonathan Major didn't comply or refuse a higher up. King got killed because he got radical about cutting the check. Absolutely. As far as Jonathan Major, I don't know that part, but I will say that when you maintain your innocence, even though that there's film and footage and you don't take accountability. Remember, all the black women who was going after Jonathan Major say he wasn't accountable for his actions. You know, how dare he tell a white woman, you know, to straighten herself up? Do you know who these women are and how they sacrifice? Why can't you do that for the greater goal? How dare he talk to a white woman like that? I keep telling y'all, it wasn't. We can talk about. We can literally talk about the false arrest. We could talk about the district attorney's office and what he was trying to get accomplished. You know how the prosecutors left out a black man with a degree because they felt like he wouldn't understand the instructions because there was no black man on the jury, but the one black man that you could have picked, you didn't want to. How the game was rigged, and how dare he go on the interview, ABC interview, and say he's innocent? He had to do something. Just saying, it's way bigger. And that's because he was with that white woman, white O'Reilly, whatever. Because he was with someone who appears white. People in that pocket in the black community, and the folks in the white community who did not want to see him get back to the status he was, and the black, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth. Black people in Hollywood didn't want to see that. Especially when I bring you on to my movie and you outshine me in my movie. I'm the one who's a Hollywood A-lister. I'm the one who's directing this. I'm the one who wrote this. How dare your black ass come and outshine me? How dare you? So when you get in your little trouble, oh, you're not going to see me. You on your own, big dog. Remember, you wanted to outshine the master. And if you ever look at this book right here, the 48 Laws of Power. Hold up. What is chapter 1? Hold on. Let me get to chapter law number 1. Law number 1. What is law number 1? Let me show y'all. Hold on, because I want to just get to the page. Hold on. I know this is maybe a little. What does that say? Law number 1. Never outshine the master. The first law, never outshine the master. And you wonder why black people didn't come to a lot of people like Nate Parker and Jonathan Majors and a lot of other people's aid. But they have no problem telling you how great Robert Downey Jr. and other white actors are. I need to stop teaching right now. I need to stop teaching. I know Torrin will be very proud of me right now. Trying to get to some of y'all the newer questions because it's a lot, and I'm not going to go all the way back in there. But if you want to highlight a question, or you want to ask me a question, and you want to highlight it, send me a super chat or a super sticker, and I have no problem, answering the question. But make sure you support this. Make sure you support this. Those women were on their Willie Lynch Mammy grind. Just saying. What's up, Dr. Carpet? Shalom to you, my brother. Torrin. And also, too, John Demeter was shooting up Hollywood stratosphere really fast, which is rare for a black actor, and they had to knock him down a peg. Just like I said. We'd be so mad at the wrong dumb shit. I swear, I agree with you. But it would really, burnt my biscuits is to seeing black YouTubers doing the same thing as mainstream media when you don't even have to. But again, if I buck the system, I won't get that. I won't get to where I want to be. And damn that. It's either the truth or where you want to be at. And sometimes, and you ain't gotta get physically bent over to get pegged. I'm just saying. He had to do something. Talking point came straight out of George Zimmer. Exactly. He had to do something. Because seriously, if Ant-Man was written correctly, he wouldn't have won. That maybe that would have ended him. Honestly, if Ant-Man and Wasp: The Quantumania was a success, was a financial box office success, Disney would have called Alvin Bragg and they would have cut a plea deal. When I talked to Priya Chaudhry in New York, she said if they were going to do all that, why did they cut us a plea deal? They did the same thing with Kevin Porter Jr. They literally did the same thing with Kevin Porter Jr. They cut him a plea deal, but Jonathan Majors, no plea deal because I want to prove a point. And this was a black man doing this, running the same hop and bob, playing hop and bob to a system that has systematically enslaved us, has systematically oppressed us and enslaved us. But just because he's black doesn't mean he's not following the racist card, the racist routine. But then we wonder why, Harvey Weinstein got his case appealed. I'm praying for Jonathan Majors to get his case appealed. Oh man, he get that case appealed. Oh my God, I can't wait. I think Jonathan Majors' case was just a matter in the making, an example out of somebody, and the rest of the nonsense was a bonus. The damage to spirit, the lavish struggle, you hit it right on the head. Yep, you hit it right on the head. You know who we were talking about. Enough said. A 5-year climb, going down the drain. 48 laws of power. Rule number 1: never outshine the master. Absolutely. Black Hollywood is full of haters and weird as fuck too. Yep. I'm sorry I didn't mean all this cussing, but appreciate it, Rashad. Appreciate it. My culture was doing evil, and he said he wasn't interested in coming back. He said that. Let's be truthful. Let's be truthful, Marley Marr. If they would have offered, let's be real, because you know what happens when you go into the MCU. You see what happened with the guy who played Daredevil. He was the Spider-Man. Do you not think he's going to get paid? What would you rather do? Evil or be a part of the MCU and get paid? And get more exposure? So he could have said that, but they didn't offer that back. I've been following. See, the thing is, Marley Moore, I've been following these stories and all of that. He said that because they didn't offer him one back. They said, well, I don't know. They didn't want him back. They wanted Daredevil. They wanted Punisher. They wanted Jessica Jones. But the brother, I understand Iron Fist because that sucked. But the brother who was getting all these acclaims on Netflix because of the first season of Luke Cage, didn't want that. I keep telling y'all, keep showing y'all, keep making excuses, but the proof is right there. It's right in front of your face. My Ant-Man trilogy would have been vastly different. Where's the real Bill Fox? Exactly. Black Goliath. That is the book that I love. It's in my arsenal. Absolutely. You said help us out. They want to know who Bill Foster is. Black Goliath. Hey, James Willis, appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Hey, talking about bootlegging, all of that. Can't stand them. Ishi, thank you so very much for the $5 super chat. No, sir, don't stop. I keep telling you, Dre. Stay on these folks' neck. Appreciate it. Well, I put it in the chat. What do you want? Do you want body roll or you want something else? You let me know. You put it in the chat. Let me know. Fact, some of these black YouTubers are showcasing their Daffy Duck tap dancing skills, engaging in bug dance. Exactly. Luke Cage would have been back if they would have offered, he would have came back. They would have offered, hey, we're really wanting to bring Luke Cage back. We want the Defenders, but we want to do the Defenders show, but we really want you back. He would have came back. He would have dropped Evil in a heartbeat. Trust me. But let me know what you want. I'm about to wrap this up here in a minute. But tell me what you want. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the chat. Let me know. I got you. A matter of fact, I got my hand on the trigger right now. Tell me what you want. Body roll. Let's go.
Super chat. Body roll.
Body roll. That's what I'm talking about. I like the man Giant Man over Black Goliath. I do too, because Goliath was a Pharisee. Those people came from what we call the Middle East now was the Horn of Africa back then. It was nothing there because there's no Middle West. How the hell you could create a Middle East? But that's a story for another day. To be fair, Charlie Cox was positioning his Daredevil back and asking fans to further. Absolutely, which he should. He should. They shouldn't have killed off Mahershala Ali's character of Luke Cage. That's why season 2 wasn't that good. Season 2 had his lumps. I like Cottonmouth, but Mahershala Ali killed it. Killed it in season 1. What's up, Keita? Sometimes you got to tell the MCU no. Pay and treat the black actors with respect and their work. Exactly. I 1000% agree. Not the best show, but Luke Cage is the blackest thing Marvel has done. And remember, it wasn't under the MCU. It was under Netflix when they had the rights to those particular characters. You know what I mean? So, all right. Do you guys have any questions or anything? Because I'm about to wrap this up here in a little bit. But if you guys got any questions, put it in the chat below. You know what I mean? And let me know. Or let's do those questions. Or do you got a comment, question, or whatever? And of course, you can always super chat a question. That gets priority membership. If you have a membership, you get priority on questions and answers too. Season 2 was awesome. 1 was slow, but had a lot of. Season 2 was awesome. 1 was slow. It had a lot of boring moments. I liked 1. You know what I'm saying? Season 2 was fun too. But I again, seeing a black man as a lead in a movie, in a show or a movie, you're gonna get me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just let the story be good, and I'm down. I'm in it because I want to see black people doing good in Hollywood. I want to see that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it seems like more of the same when it comes to black characters, especially the ones that do well, and more of the same white executives cutting their nose off to spite their faces. I agree with you. I agree with you. Do you think Hollywood would get better or worse for black actors? I want to say yeah, but the truth is, okay. So this is my honest to God thought about this. My thought is that if Tyler Perry started making an executive move with the studio and stopped making the cookie cutter movies that he did, and he lands out his land in Georgia to the MCU and all of that. But what if he decided to start creating his own superhero movies as an executive? Not him, because I don't want to see Madea does the MCU. I don't want to see that at all. Hell to the no. But what it could be, he could be executive producing a lot of these indie black comic books, like Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, and other black comic book properties. All you got to do is fund it. All you got the land, you got all of that. Let these guys direct, like these guys act. Just do some black shit, because he already knows what's going on in Hollywood. Why can't he do that? That's the only question I got. That's the only question I got. So, would I like it? Hell yeah. I would love to see that. Love to see it. Ali's Cottonmouth was the truth. I hate that they killed him off, took the energy out of season 1. It did. We had to do with Black Mariah, but again, there were still, the acting was phenomenal. Even if the story was a little rocky, we cannot say that the acting was not phenomenal in those shows. We can't say that. We can say the story wasn't good, but the acting was great. Will T'Challa return to the MCU? There's so many rumors about this T'Challa Jr. TJ character. Would I like it? Yes. I'm not giving, after what I've seen, and remember, I'm going to cover D23 too. I'm gonna make a video about what comes out of D23. But I have no hope in what they're doing with black people in the MCU. I'm sorry. I have no hope. Outside of Anthony Mackie, and really, if you really think about it, they're not promoting Anthony Mackie per se. They're saying Han Solo, you know what I mean? Indiana Jones turns into the Hulk. They could have, you know what I mean? They're not giving him the Chris Evans treatment. I have not seen a clip where in that trailer where I'm saying I don't see the Chris Evans treatment. That's just me personally. So, all right. ABC with former Marvel comic writer Jeff Lowe made the Netflix stuff. Yep. And of course, Erica Dixon, aka She Loves Fantasy, showing love, been a member for 6 months. I truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate you guys who are members. You guys are awesome. You guys are the ones who fund Kung Fu Cinema Saturdays or watch parties on Twitch or on really on Zoom. And I'm probably going to do it more on Zoom. You know what I mean? Because I want to interact with you guys after we're done. So yeah. And I don't get in trouble. So this is probably why Lovecraft Country didn't get a season. I mean, you can't just Lovecraft Country. There's a couple other shows that started off that were real good, that were black shows, and then you don't see them no more. We need more black studio order. Absolutely, I agree. Jeff Lowe was in charge of the non-MCU stuff. Absolutely. Lovecraft Country was popular, and look how they canceled the show. Exactly. And it was as blackety black if you could get. I wish Tyler would consider that. I would too. The acting was awesome. That shit would be hilarious. Madea, I don't want to see Madea does the MCU. Madea in the MCU. Madea world hero. I don't want to see none of that. Do you remember Johnson and Strowman Tribe comic book? I can't say that I do. It doesn't ring a bell right now. I'll probably look it up, but it doesn't ring a bell. The Netflix shows needed a bigger budget. Absolutely. D23 is tonight, so I will be I'm at work, but I will be coming in doing a video when I get home. Hopefully I'm feeling up to it, but I will be doing videos for that. Oh my God, Dre, I was just talking to my mom about this last night. You see, I was just saying, Tyler Perry should acquire the rights to sell that. Yeah. Supercell is a great example. Black man made the show and had an all-black cast, and wouldn't do that over in the States. Thank you, Rashad Walker. Thank you. Disney doesn't need black people to be strong leaders. Nope. I'm so not interested in Tyler Perry's take on nearly anything, but I'm happy for everybody connected to him. Exactly. When he can executive produce and put his money behind it, I'm for it. Jordan Peele's that dude with the right eye. Exactly. I wish Jordan Peele had his own, because I think Jordan Peele would do it. I believe he would do it. I heard the rumors that Child Jew was supposed to be. I think you sent me that. Don't nobody know nothing right now. Honestly, is what I believe. Why people were mad at Watchmen because they had a black Dr. Manhattan, and Regina King was a black character in there. LCC, Lovecraft Country, too black, too bold. Watchmen was everything. Dr. Keisha, what is up? Thank you. Come and showing me love. Thank you. American God. Look what they did to the whatchamacallit, American Gods. I mean, there's more examples than people think. Edouard Fuqua directed a Superman IP. That's dope. Check out Netflix Rebel Ridge where you can. Thank you, Gray. I will make sure to check that out. My brother from Mad TV was cut from the show. Exactly. For being too black. I'm just saying there's a lot of examples that's out here, but we fail to acknowledge that.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right, guys. Thank you so very much for hanging with me on this subject. I know it's a little bit different with the content that I use, but hopefully you understood how I wrapped everything around and gave you an understanding of what people do in Hollywood. So again, thank you for all of the super chats and all the members, all of that stuff. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You have no idea. One thing about me, my integrity never let me change for you guys. So I might not be the world's biggest channel, but I'm gonna always make sure that I give you guys the truth. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe power, y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Where's my outro at? I see you back on Kung Fu Cinema Saturdays. Where's my outro at? I got my forehead covered because I need to breathe.
Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over?
What?
Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.